Upgrading your coding requires you to simplify your coding. So what that means is simple programs like a woman is strong when she doesn't react, right? That's a simple program. A more complex program is a white woman is strong when she doesn't react. Now, what that does is that leaves out all the rest of the races. So now you only have a program specifically for one particular race, which when you understand race in itself, and you segregate people by color, now you need to come up with a whole new set of programs just for yellow Asian people or black people. And this is something that basically your brain doesn't have enough room for it. So what happens in this case now is you begin to look at all people of one color are this, and you're not interested to know about them, and so you can never do business with them, and you can never expect anything great from them because they're outside of you. So when you simplify programming to a woman is exceptional when she compliments from her heart, then you see all women in front of you. When they compliment, does it come from their heart? Or when they compliment, can you tell that it's from their mind? So your internal spirit gets kicked in when it comes to looking at each and every person to try and make your internal vibrations correct. This is how you create reality. So when you have a program that you have to put everyone to, now what happens is each and every person will either fit your program or not fit your program. And this will always happen regardless of how complicated or simple your programming is. So if you want to believe that all darker skinned people are illiterate, the person can literally be a doctor. They can be someone who is well learned. But maybe because you catch them on an off day when they're speaking a different dialect and they're relaxed, and maybe they bump into you and spill something, and the person go sorry instead of oh hello sir, I am so sorry, and you look on them and you just go oh illiterate, because your brain has always said that the people that you've noticed that are darker have that mentality. So this person literally can be a doctor, but you're not going to notice they're a doctor because they're not pulling out their ID card. You're not at the hospital. You're in a lounge. So your brain is just going to make that true. And what this does is it shallows you out to not look at people for what their programming is. You're looking at people for the most surface thing that is possible, and it is the program that you've put in your brain. So if you want to look at people this way, then you will most likely get yourself into a lot of trouble in a lot of ways. Because recently, I know there has been a group of people who didn't believe that I had the power and authority to be exactly who I am because my complexion was fair and my face was beautiful. This was something that stopped them from really seeing who I was. If they had seen that from the very, very beginning and go, oh, this person has power, let me just leave them alone, they would not be in the problems that they are in today. And the thing is, a pretty face does not mean that she's, doing whatever you think is in your brain. A pretty face is literally just a pretty face. What is the brain behind that pretty face? Is it proving to be someone who is of intelligence, or is it proving to be someone who doesn't use any of their other giftings but just wants to look nice? You have to understand, a pretty face will always be grateful for their pretty face if they're grateful for it. If they're not grateful for it, then they will use it. So you have to see, it will look very similar to you on a screen when somebody takes a selfie of themselves. And then you have to be able to decipher. So the more complex your programming is, you have to fit people into these complex programs. But if you get into simpler terms, it can go across all people. So if a man has big, broad shoulders, he has no brains. That is not a program that is going to serve you very well. If you go into a man who has big, broad shoulders is strong, then that's true. He's going to have some sort of strength, right? But if you look at people and say, okay, a man with big, broad shoulders is always going to be a mean person, then you're going to miss out on the person who is super kind but wanted to take care of their body and their back because maybe, growing up they had a weaker back, and so they decided to go to the gym and hit the gym and have big, broad shoulders because that will hold their back in place due to the position that they've chosen for work. And they're the kindest, most wonderful person that you've ever met. So you have to understand, to get programs more attuned to truth. So a man with big, broad shoulders is a man that has strength in his shoulders, plain and simple. But then you also have to now create more programs. Instead of, a man with big, broad shoulders can overpower me and I want to avoid those people at all costs because they've hurt me in the past. Now you look at him and say, okay, he's a man with big, broad shoulders. Does this man have integrity? So you have to learn to create programs that will show you more about a person. So why did the person in the past not give you, space to be yourself? They were big, broad shoulders and they came and invaded your space and did some things. Well, a man of integrity never invades a person's space when it comes to their personal space, right? And then a man of integrity with women is different than a man with integrity with men, right? You have to understand, the more complex and simple your programs are, the more they can just all fire off at once, and you can see a person for who they are by reading their body language, yes, but also their energy as well. But if you let these complex programs or very simple programs run your everything, then you will miss out on people. You will miss out on business. You won't know, okay, is this a good business person? Oh, well, they're the wrong color, so there's no way they could be a good business person. You're literally going to miss out on anyone who is in that color, who has high intelligence, high value, strong standards, and valuable assets. So you have to learn to see each person as each person. Now, it is factual that when someone has an accent, they have an accent, but it is not factual that when they have an accent, that they have no mental capability to hold a conversation with you. That is not the case. If someone in front of you looks a certain way, it literally means nothing but what you say. So if you say as someone who washes themselves and looks clean, they're a good, respectable person, you will fail a lot in life. Because I have seen some of the crummiest people, they know how to go and bid and put on a nice piece of clothing and have a perfume, and that's literally all they own. Their fridge has nothing. You have to understand, when you blanket statement anyone in any shape, form, race, intelligence, lack of intelligence, power, lack of power, whatever you want to put there, you're the one who's going to pay the price later. This is why, if you create programs that will help you see people, is this a person of power? Yes or no? Instead of, oh, people of power stand like this or look like this. Do you know how many people are copycats in this world? They'll literally look at someone they know has power because they've tuned in to know what the truth is and copycat them. And you're dealing with the copycat. So you have to learn how a person of intelligence speaks. You have to learn how a person of grandeur is in every single way. What are the programs you can put in your brain that help you decipher a person who makes money from a person who's trying to sell you something just to make money off of you? Who is trying to share with you that they can hold an image, and who is trying to share with you this is a lifestyle they live because it's off the top. They don't even touch the bottom of their check-ins account, never mind their savings. How do you tell the difference? It's about the programming within inside your brain. Yes, you'll learn to see that certain people move differently and vibrate differently and all of these things. But you have to start by recognizing people by good programming. Lots of very simple programs put together creates an actual complex program versus what you think is a complex program by looking at a person and going, oh, well, they look like this, they show up like this, then they're just like that person I knew so many years ago. Right? You have to understand, as soon as you put certain identifiers like race or gender into the mix, you will find yourself in a failure position at some point in life where that person has to teach you a lesson. That person's like, no, I am intelligent. And they're so intelligent that they made you look like a total idiot. So it's better that you look and understand what intelligence looks like and look at it across all gender, all races, all different types of this, that, and the other thing. As soon as you judge, you now set yourself up for a failure in any way, shape, or form. Maybe you misjudge a person, or maybe you end up doing business with them because of this, and really they are just pulling a woolen blanket over your eyes. There are many different types of characters in every single community, never mind race. Every community has all the different characters. Learn to understand the characters, learn to understand the placements people are in, and then learn to understand their abilities, and then learn to understand their workability of their abilities. And understanding so many different things about a person. I want you to be great, and this is why I share this with you. Because I have seen some of the greatest travesties in life that could have been avoided, even in my own life, if I had looked past some of the programming that I had. For me, my programming was deeper. It was, do I have love with this person? But I didn't understand love, and I just understood love as love. That's it. What's behind the love? I've had to learn that specific thing in my life. Is behind the love integrity, is behind the love stability, is behind the love care, because anything can walk with love. And this is one of those things that is something pulled over our eyes in this lifetime. A lot of people say, well, love is love. Well, you're an absolute idiot. And I can say that with confidence inside of myself because I really was an idiot. I believed that when someone loves me, that was really good enough. And so this is where the world has gone completely sideways. You look at somebody who is the same gender and you have love for them. So, okay, let's make a romantic relationship. This is the biggest travesty I have ever seen. You are missing out on so much healing, so much fulfillment, so much things inside of you that will never be flipped on, that will never be excited because you just found someone that you love. Well, why can't you love a friend? Why can't you love a sister? You don't have to make it more than it is so that you cut yourself off from something greater somewhere else. Now, if you choose that, go ahead. You can choose anything that you want in your life. If you want to look at the same gender as you and say, this is my romance partner, go ahead. I do not do that. Because I know that there are so many things that you are missing out on healing-wise. That you're looking at them and you just see them for their gender. Once you get deeper into it and deeper into the soul, you understand how many different buttons and switches and things that only the opposite sex can turn, flip, flop, whatever. So if you're looking at someone specifically just because they're the opposite sex, they'll flip all of those switches and leave you high and dry. So you have to look at things for what they truly are. There's a reason there is an original coding for things. It's so that you dive deeper. It's so that you have the greatest experience in life. If you choose to have less, then have less. People are in relationships every single day with the opposite sex and they only are there because it's a face, not because there's a heart even. There are a lot of people don't even ask for love anymore. It's just a transactional relationship. So I give myself gratitude for desiring love and fighting for love. And now I understand deeper aspects of love because I've upgraded my programming. But even as a highly intuitive person, I knew these things. I just didn't pay attention because I was blinded by my own need for love as a bare minimum. I didn't grow with love. So for me, love was so essential and so important. I didn't know there are many different flavors of love, just like there are many different flavors of intelligence. And there are many different flavors of commitment. There are many different flavors of money. There are many different flavors of all things. And for you to blanket statement something that love is love, that will put you into a spiritual poverty that you cannot even grasp because you believe, well, that this is just, it feels good, so it must be okay. Well, watch that one tear your life apart. We all learn everything, right? And this is my experience that I'm sharing with you, and I'm very deeply passionate about sharing with you how you can get more out of life, how there can be a deeper, more profound everything in life. And as soon as you decide to look at a specific person or a specific energy like it's the only ingredient that matters, you will find yourself in a position that will show you that that's not the truth. So for you to go from one end to the other, oh, well, I can't have love because it hurt me once. Really? So you're going to allow one person's ability to treat you change the rest of your life? Wow. You have no ability to heal, apparently, but you do. So why would you allow one experience to shape your life? I understand trauma, but you have to start to learn how to walk away from these one experiences that dug a deep hole in your brain or in your heart, and learn how to wash out the hole. Oh gosh, that's gonna be... You have to learn how to repair yourself, right? You have to learn how to fix and mend. All things can be fixed and mended, but you have to be willing to look at it as that's a possibility. I have seen so many different types of programming, and when somebody uses one experience to shape the rest of their life, it's always been very repulsive to me. And I've learned that sometimes one experience can help shape your life in a positive way if you allow that. So you just have to learn that everything is literally just what it is. Everything is everything. What you're looking at in front of you is what you believe about it. And if you change what you believe about it, that thing in front of you will change. If you start to really have better programming about things, about people, about places, about yourself, this is when life becomes easier. You don't have to learn so many lessons. You don't have to hurt yourself to get through things. You just learn that, oh, well, that's that. Okay, we don't go there, or we don't go here, or, oh, that one's for us, sure. Oh, wait, no, we don't like that. It's when you're completely stubborn-headed, in some ways, it's positive because it helps you learn. But when you're completely stubborn-headed in ignoring things, this is when you have the most pain, because you accept things that are, they don't sit right with your soul. They don't sit right with anything, and you think, well, I have to do this. No, you don't have to do anything. But sometimes certain pressures are positive. It's really positive to learn how to get up every single day and create a routine. That's not really normal. But when you learn how to do that and you find greatness in it, then it's good. But if you do that because you have to and you're miserable about it, then you're actually programming misery into your daily program. So you have to learn there's so many different aspects, how you feel when you create programs. Are you joyful at the fact that you're breathing today, or are you bitter that you're here because there's just what's to be grateful for? I understand all of these things. I've had these emotions. I know these feelings. I know the feelings of despair. I know the feelings of depression. I know the feelings of happiness. I know the feelings of gratitude. I know the feelings of greatness. I know the feelings of so many different things, because that is my purpose, is to discover these things and put it into a logical package for you to walk into and execute well, instead of having to experience all of the things that you have to experience in order to learn, and then learn how to decipher the learning, and then go deeper into understanding all the things. That takes an entire lifetime. That's why I'm here explaining it to you. This is literally an entire lifetime of my understandings, going deeper into the human psyche and watching and observing and seeing all of these things. This is where my spirit is tuned into. I'm tuned into it, so you don't have to be tuned into it, so that you can tune your brain and tune yourself so that you can be excellent. But to sit down and observe all of these things to the depths that I've observed them, makes you not able to do the things that you're great at. Because your specific ways, yes, you need to understand more about yourself, yes, but you have a gifting that is different than me. Mine is the depths of spirituality and bringing it into the light for you. The only reason majority of you that are here understanding spirituality is because you have a gift that needs to be utilized and unlocked, and you need to understand yourself to even know that that gift is there. Because you kind of just pushed it aside for a long time because you wanted to do what you thought was going to give you the greatest stability in your life. And you've created your whole life around all of these specific programs and ways. And you're very well off and you're very well to do and you feel very good about most things in life. But there's still these unsatisfactory things that are going on within inside of you that you don't understand, and it's because of your programming. And then that's why you found me, because you see that I talk logical sensibility in spirituality. And you're like, okay, well, I guess this can make sense. It's not just some, hoofla, right? There's a lot of credibility to this, yeah. Or I have a lot of very powerful spiritual people that are trying to study me and do it better than me. Well, you won't ever be able to do it better than me. Be yourself. Just be you. You have your own giftings. You have your own abilities. And if the only ability that you have power for is domination, then you need to sit down and look in the mirror. And if the only reason that you have power is to bring people on your side, then you need to probably go into politics instead of spirituality. Because spirituality is not about getting people on your side. It's about invoking each person to be themselves. But if you're using spirituality to get people on your side, then like I said, you should be into politics, because you do need people on your side and you do need to use those gifts and abilities for that. But spirituality is not meant to draw people in your lane. Even if anything, it's meant to push them away. Deep spirituality is about personal experience. It is about invoking yourself into this human life. And if you want to be in a community in spirituality, you will not be doing you. You will be doing what you think they want you to do, so they will listen to you, which is manipulation on a spiritual level, which the cost of that in the spiritual realms, the karma that you receive for that is exponentially ridiculous. And you're risking your own soul to program people in the spiritual. You're paying the highest cost that there is on earth. It's probably better if you change over to a different position, because manipulation of the spiritual is only meant for evolution, for the overall ways of going about things, and must still be entered into by free will. So all of you out there who are on my channel and you're trying to tell people things on a spiritual level to make their will yours, you need therapy. And I say that in the kindest, lovingest way possible. Your desire for dominating others and controlling others is the lack of it within inside of yourself. And you know that law of attraction, what you're putting out is what you're getting. And to go deeper into that, the only reason you put it out is because it's in there. So please Take time for yourself, and save yourself. Because literally there is no deity. And I know this because I'm the top ranking. Have no say beyond nothing I say. Nobody can save you. If they want to save you, I'll lie them or tell you to bring you in their court so they can manipulate and use you. I gotta tell you this right now. Honor yourself. Spend time with yourself. And please, save yourself. Don't hide yourself. Don't cover yourself. Save yourself. One program at a time.